Welcome. Welcome. My name's Brian Knight and I live near Melbourne in Australia, and it's just turned 5 o'clock in the morning on Monday for me. Uh, Probably still Sunday for you, Paul, and for Tom. Right. Let's just, yeah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. Still warming, still dry, waiting for the rain. Anyway. Welcome to this live Forex analysis session. Just note that any trades discussed in this group are to be classed purely as educational only. That's because we're a group of people helping each other and we are not financial advisors. So just take any trade you are happy to take based on your own analysis. Right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see market open up. I suppose we had the tariffs and then the hold on tariffs and then the and then the China stuff, and yeah, anyway. So may not be too much of a jump around on the market today, but we'll see what happens. Um, there was uh, you should be seeing my trading view, correct? Yeah,
Sorry, what?
should be seeing the trading view. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And there was somebody that reached out to me, Ross Elliott, said he was going to try and join the Zoom as well. He hasn't as yet, but that's okay. No worries. All right. Any questions, Paul, from last week?
Not really, Brian. No, it's
No?
I've not been, as I mentioned the other night, I've not done any trading this year, really. But other things to been on the line. So my intention is to get back into it this coming week, which is why I'm here. So
Yeah, no worries at all. Okay.
not a great time to be getting into it. But having said that, there's obviously some opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, there are. It just depends on whether you, yeah, whether you can handle the fluctuations that are occurring in the market currently. I mean, last week was just like on the week before, just all over the place. Tom took advantage of it very nicely. But the strategy that Darren and I would tended to use was just didn't work. Right. Oh well. So yeah, just we'll just go through and have a look and see. Darren's not here as yet. Sometimes he'll pop in. We'll just see how we go. Anyway, the I think Tom, we'll try and look through to the because we also there's hang on, I'll just go. Sorry to jump all over the place. We're just these are the bricks or Rincos, whichever way you want to call it. Let's go back up top. So it just sort of looking at how these bricks are behaving, and Tom can explain all of that. But yeah, we'll just see through the process. So what I might do is Tom, if it's all right with you, I'll just go through the standard candles on the daily and have a look and see where are things from down, and then we can come across and then maybe just go through the bricks. How's that sound to you?
Whatever you want to do, Brian.
Hmm, that's okay. Well, I want to also to
It's your
look
show,
at.
man. You do you. I'm
Oh,
here for the entertainment.
yeah. Well, we're here to sort of try and. Well, I'm here to support each other. So
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
let's go through these, and I can tell you where I'm at some of them, and some I'd like to think. So I want to get out of some trades actually on before the end of the trading week. So for me, that's Saturday morning. But I sort of like because I'd miscalculated the time. So we'll just see how things go when the market opens up. But there's a couple you can see I've got a few notes on a couple of things like CAD-J and Euro. I think I'm probably sitting in the wrong side of them at the moment. Anyway, AUD CAD, let's just go through. So AUD CAD at the moment, if you're using just the trend line, you're using the daily, you're using candles and that sort of thing. There was a short sell and it's pulling back up. But if we follow what may or may not happen on it is that while this trend bar is still red, and I was thinking also, Darren, I mean, what you've got at the moment is where is it? On the trend bar, you have you have like a 25. And I don't know, I'm not absolutely certain whether that's the optimal sort of setting or not. But,
No.
well, sorry.
Sorry, no, yeah. I mean, I don't know what the optimal is really, but I sort of played around with it for a bit
Yeah.
and sort of got to that. I mean, if I'd have been taken that trade, which I
Mm-hmm.
did, then I would probably out of if it had survived, there was a wick up there, but I'd have profited it out now, wouldn't I? Because
Correct.
the stop loss would have been 2 candles back. So when we got that long, it pushed up. It would have profited me out.
Yeah. So
Fine.
if we look at it from this perspective, it's short. You see that short up there, you get into it at some point here. Like if we say doink, that's where you get in because you've got it's gone red. And it's like, it depends on where you see the candle. I'm just being a little generous, I suppose, as in like, oh, I didn't quite see that. I got it on the next candle. I got in, right? And your stop loss would have been up here somewhere.
Yeah.
I've just been, I mean, it could be that you got in somewhere there, exactly when you saw that candle to the red, and you got in, and then all of a sudden there was a short on it. It's like, oh, great. Well, you've still got a 84 pip or whatever stop loss on it, which is all fine, and it would have come down here. That's nice. It's like 6-7%, but you still would have been in the trade, right? And you would have moved your stop loss from here, which we had, right? And then you would have moved your stop loss. Potentially, you probably would have moved it maybe to there after it had dropped, correct?
Yeah.
And then after it had dropped again, and then it dropped again, you potentially would have moved your stop loss
Yeah.
to
That's
there.
right.
Would that
Exactly.
be
Yeah.
correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And then when it's spiked back up here, that's it. That's the end of you for that trade. I'm just trying to go through the scenarios of it.
But if we get another short on it now, you can
You
get
get back in
there.
again. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no. I understand all that point. But what you have then is, where are we? It's going to be hard to work out what the percentage is there now. Oh, no, because it'd still work off the original stop loss. So you still got 4% out of that trade.
Yeah.
If, if you had a 1% on the
Correct.
trade.
Yeah.
So whatever,
Yeah.
it'd still be a 4%, but on whatever your lot size. And if you're doing,
Yeah.
I think you said on the end of the week, you said you were running a
Fixed
zero,
lots
0.01
per thousand. Yeah.
per thousand.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And look, I agree with that. That's fine. So still there's a 4% in that as a percentage of whatever that size is. So
4-to-1 risk to reward ratio,
correct.
isn't it?
Still relative. That's right. All right. Oh, that's no problem. And so now you're waiting for potentially a short on this or not. So you're not in a trade. You've made a profit. Job's okay, as far as I see.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I can't see how you would avoid giving up some of that because this is just a pullback on that thing, and you're keeping out of any sort of a buy trade there. Okay, that makes sense. So at the moment, we're just sitting here with, the way I do it is I just put a pink one on it because I'm just watching what it does, right? I'm not going to make a decision on any trade until or whatever. If we get a short on here, then potentially I would get into a trade for a sell. Sorry, you would get into, and I potentially would get into a sell on that. And the principle behind it is really about uh, following a trend over a period of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you using the stop loss to determine your profit rather than
Correct.
having
Rather than a TP from an X48. Okay, great. All right, let's go to the next one. AEDCHF. Right. At the moment, where am I?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well,
I'm in
I
it.
got into this on Friday, Brian.
Oh, did you?
So, yeah.
On that short, somewhere in
Yeah.
here.
So it closed a little bit in profit Friday. So
Okay, well,
see
let's
what
have a look.
happens.
Let's have a look and see where that is then. So if we've got a short somewhere in this candle or wherever,
Yeah.
you may have got into that trade, correct?
Yeah.
And your stop loss would be, is it up here or is
No,
it
above the short, just above the short. Yeah, above the
okay?
wick. Yeah.
Rightio. And so you're looking at this potentially to continue. At the moment, you're on like a small profit. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
But it did push down here and gave you like nearly one,
Yeah.
like
And
half of
suck
us.
back up. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So we just got to watch what happens here when the market opens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, where am I at? There. Yeah, I got in a bit later than you, so it must have been down here somewhere or whatever. I'm still at like 30 pips in negative. I'm not even at break even at the moment. But based upon this, so red got back into a short. We'll just see what happens because that was sort of like the pullback and then drop
Yeah.
off. And my stop loss is where are we? We're on AUD Sorry, that's not right. No, I'm only 8 pips down. What am I talking about? I was looking at the wrong. And now I've got my stop loss up here. But that's where I've placed it, and you've placed yours down here, which is all okay. All right, let's just wait and see what happens on that. So AUD JPY, not in this trade. I didn't get into that short. We don't have a short. We've got a long push up, and then it's sort of just dancing here. But we do have a red trend bar. Oh, this is on a daily. These are daily candles. And we're just waiting. If we get a short here, then that would be a potential trade. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Would have been nice to get that short, wouldn't it? And then it would have down there would have just come back up, and again you would have got whatever percentage. ADNZD. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, this is an interesting one because I'm in the got in the sell, the
Back up
short.
here.
Uh, yeah, got in there.
But you never moved your stop loss down below this point, obviously.
But I'm now I will be doing now because now we've got this short. It's pullback, got a short, so I will
Get a second trade.
second trade, move my stop loss, which will be into
Down to the top here.
yeah. Well, my stop loss will now be. I'll move it to so it'll be about break even,
Yeah, okay.
and so that's a risk-free trade. So potentially, I'll take another sell now. Yeah.
Oh, Ross is there now. Okay. Hey Ross. He's got his mic off.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, Ross, we can.
Right. Yeah, it's glad to be back.
Really glad to be
Yeah,
back
it's
trading.
been a while, been a couple of years.
Sure is.
Oh,
So
thought
you're
I'd wet the
welcome.
lips again. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
So just you're in UK time or
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Northern
No
Ireland. I
worries.
live.
No worries. So Paul and uh, uh has joined us over last week as well, and Darren's there in the same time zone as you. So we're just talking about how we've gone through a fair few iterations of strategy. It's just the current sort of market dynamics are sort of the strategy that we've been following for a fair while in this standard candles or Japanese candles
Yep.
just didn't really work. And now Darren has considered Darren, I'll let you go through the description.
Yeah. Well, I was previously I've been using this X48 indicator combined with these candles, this trend bar, these longs and shorts. And I'm sort of trading within that X48 from the top of the X48 to sort of the bottom of the X48. And they were my sort of entry points and targets. Using the combined with the trend bar. But when the tariff,
and you were doing very well with it.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
quite profitable. Then we had those tariffs were announced the other week, and I just got stopped out a whole load of trades. Because I was in a lot of trades with this strategy. At times I was in up to sort of 20 trades at any one time, and I just got whacked out of 3/4 of them in a very short space of time. Took an absolute caning, which meant I thought, right, this isn't going to work in these volatile conditions. So just had a bit of a relook at it and rethink. Came up with some amended rules, which, looking back over the last couple of weeks, would have steered me through the tariff announcements without too much trouble. That's right. How we sort of got to what I'm sort of looking at now. So I've ditched the X48 altogether, and I'm now just following this trend bar, the twin range. So I get in on the shorts and the longs. Shorts when the trend bar's red, obviously. I'm just looking for longs when the trend bar's green. Adjusted the settings. Sort of smooths it out a little bit, and so there's less sort of being in and out of trades, and should result in fewer losses. And that's sort of what we're doing, or that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah, and stop loss placement is a
Sorry, yeah. So whereas previously my take profit was the other side of the X48, so that was me. So it's getting in at one either the top or the bottom of the X48. The target was the other side, top or bottom. Now I don't have a take profit target. I'm using a stop loss to determine my profit. So I just stay in the trend until track the stop loss, keep moving the stop loss until eventually, I profit out, or the trend bar changes color, and I just close it at that point. So I mean, it's early days, very early days, but on a couple of positions at the minute there are in sort of guaranteed profit. Stop loss has been moved into profit, so yeah, that's sort of what I'm doing at the moment.
So, for example, here, while these are daily candles, standard Japanese candles, Ross.
Yep.
When it's green and above, you're in a buy because of the long, and when it's red and the short, you're in the sell. It's just pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of mystery.
Right.
And so it's really about following the trend and keeping with the trend, knowing that there'll be pullbacks in the trend all the time.
But you were sort of trading similar to this about a year ago,
Yeah,
Brian. You sort of following the trend.
Absolutely.
I remember your count at one point was sort of 50% up as you were sat in all these trades. And so I was also thinking back to that and thought, why don't I sort of go back to that?
You certainly don't have to follow what I do, but it's like you're talking about what for you could be successful on it. That's really all. So, Ross, just ask questions if you want to along the process. We'll try and explain. It's pretty simple. After we see a few pairs, you'll be able to see how it is. So, just from a setting perspective, all you've got is a CM underscore EMA trend bar, and the setting is 25 at this point, and you've got a twin range, which is just standard out of the box, whatever the settings are. Okay. I think the CMA trend bar, though, if you go to style and you click the first color bar, it means that even though you've got a buy candle, you'll see some of these candles, like for example, that candle there that pushed up, it's still red because the trend bar is red. Where if the trend bar is green, you'll get a candle that pushes up will be green, just that single one there, and then you get a short and off, it goes back down again. So you could in effect turn that off, and then what you'll do is you'll have them as buy candles and them as sell candles. So it just depends on. Darren said last week that this is how he preferred it. So I was just sort of picturing it the same, which is not too bad. You can still see that that's a buy candle and their sell. So, and if it's got a short, then you get a couple of reds.
Yeah, what I find with it like that, I don't get distracted by the buy candles. I just look at it and think it's still red. We're still in a downtrend. Don't have the distraction of a big sort of green candle there.
This is the on again, off again tariff.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. We're not so worried about, not worried, we're not so concerned about news. All those sort of things are not necessarily big. It's really just following the trend as it goes down. And for example, on here, if you've got a red and short now, it depends. I mean, Darren could get in on that first red candle, but he might wait until he gets that sort of the short.
Yeah, well, that's my initial trade. I need a short or a long as appropriate to get in it. But I can then get back into trades without necessarily waiting for a short. If I've got out because it's changed colour and then it changes back again.
Yeah.
But the sort of the initial trade, I will always look for the short or a long first of all.
So this came down here and would have had nearly 4% or 4 to 1, depends on what you trade. But basically, you would then move, for example, here you'd have your stop loss potentially up there, and then when it moved down and you got your short and it moved down further, you'd move it there, and then as it moved down here, you would move your stop loss to there, for example. And then as it came down here, you'd probably have your stop loss down there somewhere, either there or just up there. And it would actually come back and spike you out, which means that you probably only end up with less than 1%. But you also are safe. But the thing is, if you had have got in up, no, you probably would have got in on the short there somewhere. So that's just the sort of the way the strategy works. Rather than trying to get TPs, you're looking at what's called a stop profit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, seems straightforward enough.
And then, so he's got the short. If he's got bounced out of that, then he's back into another, or well, if he stayed in that trade by not moving the stop down too far.
But I did stay in. I've moved the stop loss once, but
yeah,
following the sort of 2 candle rule meant it survived.
yeah.
Push up.
So it's 2 candles back. So if this you got 1, 2, so you're still back up here.
That's it. Yeah.
So even though push back up, he's in. If he's still in that trade, and then he gets a short, pushes down. If this on this short, then he would potentially, because you've got a red trend bar, this is potentially a stacking second trade sort of potential for it. Okay.
Yep.
But at the moment, and look, the way I do it is this is telling me there's something to sort of like when I put a pinky on it, and I call it a pinky, I go, right, that's potentially trade. We'll just see how the market opens up. But Darren's already in one trade for that, and potentially when market opens, we'll see what happens and settles down. Be in a second. Okay, AUD Singapore. Red, short. It depends on where you get into that. I don't know. It just because a short. I mean, normally, Darren, you don't get into a trade until after the short is confirmed and the candle is virtually completed.
Yeah. So
which would have been down here somewhere.
So I was stopped out on that one.
Yeah.
Followed the 2 candle rule. When that pushed up, it took me out for.
Yeah,
What's
but
the 2 candle rule?
2 candles back
Is what where you place your stop loss.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I mean, this is where it gets sort of quite subjective, really. It's not. It's not a hard and fast rule. I do look at other things as well. Pullbacks and. But when something's just in it, just dropping like that, I'll usually try and use this 2 candle rule.
So would that mean, see where it says short on that big candle, if that was your entry, you look 2 candles back to place a stop loss once in profit? Is that what you mean?
Well, initially my stop loss would be at the top there, above the above that wick.
So let me do this. So we got a short thing, and Darren would go like, "Oh, that's dropped down." Wait till the candle finishes. He probably is in the trade at this point here. Just as a guess, it may or may not be. He may get in because it's pushed all the way down and then sucked back up again.
Yep.
Right. So the stop loss would be up here somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. So as this next candle, whoops, I'll do this. So this is where stop loss is. And then as the week progresses, it pushes down. So, what he might say is like, okay, hang on a minute. So 1 candle creates, 2 candle creates. So this one pushes up, pushes down, finishes there. Yep. This one starts, it pushes up and then pushes back down. So he says, oh, that's good. It's gone in that sell direction, right? Just disregard these 3 candles here.
Yep.
So what he goes, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll move the stop loss down to just above this candle because 1, 2 sort of really should stay up there, but that's okay. And then what happens is when it spikes back up here, he's actually stopped out at a loss.
Right.
A potential, how do I say this? So it's not a full loss because his stop loss when he created the trade was up here. Right?
Yeah.
But in actual fact, it's only a portion, like what would it be? A
third or whatever.
Not even a half of whatever his actual lot that he's put onto that trade.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then so I get what you mean by the 2 candle thing now, but would you continue to follow that every candle printed? So for the 3rd candle, you move the stop loss down another candle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, if it continues to drop,
yeah, correct. Yeah, if it continued down, you just keep following it because that's what he's saying before us. That's his stop profit. So
Yep.
the point is, as long as that stop loss is, well, it's different in a different
Yeah.
thing, but as long as that stop loss is on the profit side of his entry, then it's going to be a stop profit. So it doesn't
Yep.
matter if it bounces up. This is just a tight sort of drop. It's because of that big drop down there.
Yeah.
It now then makes it difficult to sort of profit on that one.
I mean, there's some much better examples of that where these just continue to go in that direction. You just keep moving it and moving it and moving it.
Until it pulls back, which we just did before. If you said, like on the AUD NZD, it's a simple thing here. Like it dropped, and yes, it did pull back. But if you still had his stop loss there, which he has, this big push up here has avoided taking him out of the trade. So, for example, that's the short. He got into the trade here, and his stop loss was up there, and then as it dropped down, he's moved his stop loss to there, right?
Yep.
Above this candle, but you still have 1, 2. He hasn't moved it down to above there, and I'll talk about this in a while, Darren, because that's a buy candle. I don't think that should be counted as a 2 because of the push on it, but that's okay. And so now when it pushed back up here, down and back up here, he's still in that trade, and it's at break even basically, right?
Yep.
Because the stop loss was initially up there, it's now there. So even if this had a spike up there, he wouldn't have lost very much at all.
Yep.
But the opportunity for it to push back down. So now because that's pushed down there, he can move his stop loss to there on the first trade. So it absolutely is in a no loss situation. It's not a great profit, but it is a no loss situation. And then what happens is he's now considering, because what it's done, we've still got a red trend bar, and we've got another short. Even though it pushed back up, it now got another short. That's a potential to go like, oh, well, here's an opportunity for a second trade, because the reason why he got into the first trade is now also reignited for a second potential trade.
And so the two bar rule, or the 2 candle rule thing, is that only 2 consecutive reds or 2 consecutive greens?
No, Darren's just doing 2 candles at this point.
Right, okay.
That was my little flavor on it, that's all.
Right, okay. Yep.
What I've been looking. So that's I've sort of let that cat out of the bag, Darren. It's like
No, that's
so for me, if you've got a stop loss here and you get a sell, that's great, right? But if you get in the end, that's really a buy candle, even though it's, but it would have finished there. That actually then has not given me confidence to move my stop loss down at all, even if that's a sell.
Yep.
So I sort of disregard that. So for me, it's like, that's the second, that's the candle before it, really, in a way. Stop loss should, in my opinion, stay up there. I'm just thinking or looking at patterns. Anyway, that's the AUD NZD. We've looked at AUD Singapore. For me, there's nothing at the moment. If we get a short, so what will happen with this is potentially, if this comes up close to this, like, and this stays red and we get a short out of it, that's a trade, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But we don't know at the moment, and we'll wait for market open. The thing is, you've got a long there, but we don't have a trend bar. And this is the sort of thing as I'm sort of saying, Darren, I want to potentially play around with that number, that 25, and see.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving it at that point at the moment, because we can still see. Because see, that's a buy, that's a sell, but that's a buy. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. AUD USD yen. See what's happened here? We've got a long there, and we've got this is a buy back up here. And this is a really strange pair, like from perspective of like you can see red, green, red, green, red, green, green, red, green, and it hasn't really come far away from the trend bar, except for this, when the craziness last week occurred with the tariff stuff, the big drop, this crazy wiki stuff. Now we've got to buy, but what's your thoughts, Darren, on this one? You see, I'll still stay away from this one at this point, only purely because we've got a long down on the red side here. Do you need
I'd only
a
be
long
looking for buys at the moment on that. Now the trend bar's green.
Correct. But the question I want to ask is, are you going to need a long on the green side before you get in? So is this going to need to short, then long, and then you might get into it? Or do you see what I'm saying? Because the long is actually on the red side.
Well, that's, if that
See where you got a
trend
long
up, then
and a green there. What do you do? Is that because that's green in there, where this is a long on a well, it's actually a bicandle, but on the red side and a red candle from that perspective. You see, that's what I'm sort of like, where does that rule sort of fit in? But for me, this is just messy at the moment. I mean, you look at it
messy,
for quite a period of time. Look at it. You're not going to make anything out of this there, or there. Like, it's just, you're going to be knocked out all over the place. But then, the point is, back in October last year, if you had got into that short there, well, look at that.
Well, potentially there, you'd have got in, you'd have profited out where it pushed up there, where we got that long. So you'd have followed it down, got in at the short at the top.
Yeah.
Profited out somewhere where it pushed up there, and then got a short and got back in.
Yeah, and got back in again, all the way down here.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, but it depends. That chop up there, you could have, moved your stop loss again there and got knocked out there, and you didn't have a short necessarily in here. But because it's red, you probably would have got back in again.
Yeah.
Just depends. You got to look at what this scenario really is putting to you. But you look at that in the end, that trend continued from up here at that short all the way down to here. That's 500 pips. And yeah, sure, it took, 102 days. And yes, you could have had a couple of trades. It just depends on where you've placed your stop loss and where you're with it. Does that make sense? But at the moment, we've got this and then this craziness here. And over here in Oz, we've had one interest rate cut, that's only one. And then, the governor, who's the
Is this a
yep.
Sorry, is this a single time frame strategy, or do you ever drop down to like the 4-hour chart or anything?
You can, yeah. We've got we do have a 1 hour, but you can change that to a 4 if you want. Yeah, correct.
But you would usually trade it off the daily, is that right?
Correct.
Right.
Well, see, one of the things that I don't know if you so what we've sort of dubbed the group is really more a relaxed trading method. So basically all you need to do is really look at the charts once a day. I mean, you can look at them more times if you want to. But the point is, we want a lifestyle that is not about having to check your phone or your accounts like every 5 minutes of the day. We're not. We don't pretend to be scalpers. So, and it doesn't seem to be appealing to us at this point. I mean, it depends. So, for whatever you want. So maybe this is sort of like, oh well, we don't really want this trade at the moment because it doesn't really appeal to our lifestyle as such. Yeah.
Yeah. Partly what kept me away for a few years, purely because I didn't have time to sort of do my new job and then look at the charts and stuff. I could have if I really wanted to, but it was just too much. So I took a step back for a few years and got my burns again. Here I am.
Yeah. So if you So this is the thing is, from Darren's perspective and mine, I don't want to speak for Darren, but the point is, I spend this 1 hour or so every morning. Like I get up at 4:30 in the morning, Monday to Friday sort of thing, and just look at the charts because this is my time, and so that's all I need to do.
Yep.
It's not something that is, like, oh gosh, I got to get back and do this and then. So working off the daily is like, yeah, sure, it can, these are pretty erratic and large
Yeah.
candles, but like it's not always like that. Like CAD CHF, right, here we go. Got a short into the trade. You got into one short there. There's a bit of a long there, but it's back into a short.
Nice trade. Nice. Would have been a nice trade from the top.
Oh yeah, up over here. Yeah.
If
Get
you
the
follow that
short.
2 candle rule, that would have
It may keep you in there, and then it dropped off again. It
Oh,
came
the
back
2 candle rule, you'd have survived that
Yeah.
pullback, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And then
1, 2,
potentially
and
you
back
did.
up there.
Yeah.
And would you just be taking trades off anywhere where it says long or short, or is it only where it touches that trend line?
No, you wouldn't do the long there potentially.
Yeah, because it's below.
Well, yes, it changed green. I don't know, Darren. What do you?
Yeah. I could have got in there, and then I would have immediately closed it when it turned back red again. So potentially, I would have taken quite a small loss on that one, but it'd only be a small loss. So I'm using these fixed lot sizes.
So the thing about it
So
is,
that loss would have
Russell,
been
so
tiny.
you got to realize this is purely mechanical. You take any of the feeling emotion right out of the whole thing. You just say, if it fulfills this criteria, this is what I do. If it doesn't fulfill the criteria, you don't do it. It's as simple as that.
See for those couple of shorts there just along the trend lines, obviously they would be the most would they be like the ones that you would be looking at most to get in on, if that makes sense?
Yeah. So here's an example here. Like this is just you got to look at, like, you can't take a trade back up here because you weren't here for this. It's like about taking trades now. So what Darren's saying is like, okay, we have this red trend bar. This actually made a push down here, right? So when that candle completed was down here. So just imagine you got in, worst case scenario, you got in when that candle completed and there was the short there and you go like, I'm in, right? So you go, okay, well, this is where, your stop loss might be just above that one there, right?
Yep.
So then it drops down here, 1.7, then it's pulled back up there, right?
Yep.
And now it's dropped back down here, right? And you've actually got another short, which was on whatever day that was for you. Sorry.
Friday. Yeah.
Thank you. So that's Friday there. That's your Thursday. So you've got a whole day between there and there to make a decision. Do I get into a second trade on this one? In actual fact, but let's look at where the stop loss would have been. So initially you got your stop loss sitting up there. As the candle came back here, you'd leave it. This one for me, it's green. I wouldn't. So again, you're probably on this candle, you would decide whether you would actually move your stop loss down or not.
Yeah, but it would still be worst case. It would have still been above that wick on that green candle, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Correct.
So it would have survived that pullback.
Yeah.
And then
that's worst case scenario.
You'd be well into profit again now.
Yeah. Does that make sense, Ross?
Yeah. Yep.
So you'd have survived by the skin of your teeth, perhaps, but you'd have survived.
Yeah, with that. Yeah. And that here would have been into a bit of drawdown when it pushed up there, but then it pushed back down. The candle would have finished there because it's a buy candle. It would have finished at the top. You still would have been in some sort of profit, right? And then it came across and then dropped back down. That would have been the finish on that candle. That's the finish on that candle. You would have been at break even. It would have pushed up slightly there. You're just in a slight drawdown, and then bang, it dropped off, and then dropped off again. So
that's then you could move your stop loss.
Now move your stop loss to there,
possibly
break even there. Yeah,
take another position maybe.
But it's not actually 2 candles back. You're probably still sitting up over here. To be perfectly honest,
yeah, it'd still be there. Yeah,
Darren, still be there. And so now the situation is you're in really mechanically what you should be is you should be now. That's your first. In theory, what you really should be, if it's mechanical, you should actually be in a second trade there with your stop up here as well, and wherever that profit will go. And the reason why is because that trend bar is still red. You're still below the trend bar and you have another short. Does that make sense, Ross?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you do, but this is a potential to do that. Would you agree, Darren?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Okay. So that's where CAD CHF, I'm in the sell for that. And you know, I got in only on this candle, not back on this candle, because you got to remember this was on Thursday the week before, so we're only a week in, we're only last week into this theory, correct, Darren?
Yeah, that's right.
So that wouldn't have been something that we would have taken. So this is pretty fresh off the assembly line. Okay, CAD-J. Now CAD-J for me is I took a buy on this because of that push. It's pushed back down. It's still red. And my little note on that you can see is I have an issue. It says, I've just made a little note to it. This is an issue. I don't like this at the moment. We have a short. Yes, it's pulled back up. You know, your stop loss should have been basically back up here somewhere. You would have survived it. It's all about surviving the pushes. But the thing is, if you had got in on that short, your stop loss there, you might have moved it to here, and that probably would have bounced you out, and you probably had made a small loss on that because your entry would be, I'll do it. So, for example, you get the short, beauty, lovely, and that's probably at the when that short's finished, that would be your entry. Your stop loss would be up there, right? And what happens is, as you've moved your stop loss from here and you move it maybe down to there, this push up here would have stopped you out. So you would have had not quite a half of your lot size or whatever it is that you've put your trade on for. It's not quite half of it. It would have stopped you out and stopped you out, not stop profited. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So we just got to look at, you know, how each one be. That's why I've got an issue with this. I'm still in a sell on it. I can't remember where I got in, but
I'm still in this for the sell. So I'm just thinking neither.
Sorry, I'm in it for a buy. Sorry, I'm in it for a buy. That's the problem. Because I got in from this and then it just, you know, the tariff stuff I've been in it for actually quite a while. So for me, this is like, it's crazy. You know, look, if you look at it here from a daily perspective, the trend is down. Yes, it has pullbacks. So we go down, pullback, down, pullback, down. You know, this is still, from my perspective on a daily, this is still trending down. The only thing that's given me a little bit of solace is that it didn't break the low. Does that make sense? Like back here on this, which was Tuesday, the 11th of March, that wick has not been broken. But, you know, it can quite easily continue down.
Well, that would have been a nice sell from that short back in
yeah.
February.
Back up here. Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
and would have survived those wicks, I think, with the 2 candle row.
Yeah. Oh, well. So I've got an issue with this one, so I'll see when market opens what I do. We'll work it out. All right, CHF JPY, I am in a buy and doing very nicely out of it. Yeah. It had a long, I didn't get in until over here, but I mean, that's, thank you very much. Right now, sorry?
Nice trade, that one. Wish it was in
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I got into it over here somewhere. So,
The long and shorts, are you just waiting until the candle fully closes?
correct. Well, what happens, Ross, is it can actually flicker. It can it'll go
Right.
off and on,
Like
off and
reprint.
on while the candle is being. So it will stay there once the candle day, the whole 24 hours has completed. If it's still there, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yep. Right. Okay.
Correct, Darren?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, you could, somewhere here there could be a short long here, and then just disappear on you. So you can't count on it actually really being um, permanent until after that 24-hour period. That's why I'm putting the entry at the end of that day candle, wherever it is, because you make the decision to get into the trade at that point. So yeah, so I'm in CHF JPY, and it may do pullback. So it just depends now in move and stop loss. So at the moment, stop loss would be here or here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere in here at the moment. If we get another candle to push up, then the stop loss will come up to here. And it depends. We get another couple of days, it might come up to here. But I'm looking at potentially it has broken this structure. It may break this structure to the left. We'll see, or it may do a pullback before it does. And then you've got a bit further to go potentially if it wants to. But CHF, the Swiss franc is pretty strong at the moment. It was like abysmal there, which was great if you're in a short, but it's, crazy there. It's interesting here though, Darren, if we apply the same rule, let's just say over here, and you get into that short there, that would have stopped you out for sure.
Yeah.
And then when it went red again, you don't have a short, but the point is.
No, I would, on my rules, I would get in and back on the red. So I still, that short still counts.
Yeah, because we don't have a long.
Don't have a long, that still counts. So I'd get back in on the red.
Yeah.
And away
But you do get a long down here, but you don't get out. But you would have been knocked out of this because with your two candle rule, you got, this, you would have moved your stop loss to there. And then as it spiked up, that would have just stop profited you. So that's really what this is about, having the safety in a stop profit. Okay. Euro AUD, this also too, I'm in a sell on this and I have an issue. I'm well in drawdown on this one.
I'm looking at this for a buy now. So
yeah, I know. Because you got another long.
I mean, that would have been if you go back to sort of end of February. That
long, back here.
Really nice.
Yeah.
So every candle is a buy candle. So that is that's a beautiful sort of following the two candle rule. That one,
absolutely.
It couldn't be.
You would have just stepped the ladder up and up and up.
Yeah.
And this could have potentially here knocked you out.
Yeah.
But then you would have got back in on the long there, and then bang, you got another long here. So, and maybe you got knocked out here with the two candle rule. You might have got knocked out with a stop profit, and then you're back in again. Is this pretty simple, Ross?
Yeah, it's straightforward enough. It's just sort of the nuances to it, I suppose.
There isn't very much. You don't even have to think. All right, you're a CAD. This is definitely potentially in for a buy if you didn't already get in on that long there. So it should have been last Thursday. Should have got into that trade because Friday it pushed up and you would already be in some sort of profit. Yeah, well, of course, Darren's into it because you see, he would have seen that as soon as that candle finished up here. He's going, beauty, I'm in. And yes, it would have been like a little bit of suck back there, push up, oh, lovely profit, oh, suck back down again for the end of the day. But that's what happens at the end of the week anyway. Right.
Nice buy to the left there from.
Oh, Yes, over here. Yes, on 24th of Feb as well. Bye.
Always.
So that's the thing. You just follow this trend. It's a giver most days. All right, Euro CHF. I'm in a Euro CAD. What am I, Euro CAD? Yeah, I'm in the buy. Yeah. Oh, look, I'm already in the trade. What am I talking about? I did get in that trade. Yeah, I'm 72 pips up. Yeah, sorry. It's like, what am I talking about? Yes, okay. Euro CHF, and I don't have an issue with that. Euro CHF, I'm in the sell for that. Got the short, bang, in the sell. Thank you very much. And that one on slight, because what happens is here, I'll show you. So if I got into the sell, because that candle completed, I got into that there. So then it pushed back up. So stop loss was up here. And so it pushed back up and pushed back down. So I'm basically, I think I got it, must have got in there somewhere. I'm basically in a bit of drawdown at the moment because it's here. That makes sense. But that's okay. It's still, it's a short and stuff. I'm looking at market open and potentially it push back down a bit. It may not. It just depends. I haven't moved stop loss yet. Euro GBP. Oh, why
wish I was in
didn't
this
you?
one.
Oh, yeah, but hang on a minute. This is your nemesis, Darren.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. He's broken out of the shackles of nemesis. Okay, yeah. Well, wouldn't have this been great on Thursday the week before?
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
Still in it.
So
Still
do you
that.
get in? Do you get into it now? It's broken the whole last 12 months. It's gone up. It's happening. So there's plenty to move on this, but look at that. Yes. All right. Now, do we get, I think it's too late to get in. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe you do. I think
I'd
it's
have to
due
see
for
a
a
short
pullback.
and then a long and get back in,
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So Euro JPY. We need a long on this.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably come the next candle, I think.
Yeah. And if we get a long, then that's potentially time to get into the trade. Euro NZD. And look at that. If you had got in on that. All right, there's a short. If we get another long, then we're in the buy on that as well. Yeah?
Yeah.
But we have got a short. We're just waiting for potentially a long. Euro Singapore, same thing. If you didn't get in on that long.
Yeah, I'm in that.
I didn't because I don't have enough
Margin.
I tried and it went dig off. So we'll just see. I'm going to kill off some of those other two. I mean, I think when market opens, I'll get rid of those two that I took.
Well, this potentially could have been the third buy, couldn't it?
Yeah.
On there,
2,
back, maybe profits
3.
out, along, back in
Absolutely.
And then just ignore those shorts. Just ignore them.
Yeah, because it's still a green trim bar.
Yeah.
Okay, Norris. Euro USD. Again, onto the long pullback beauty. You'd be in some nice profit on this.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul and Ross, you can't win every trade, remember?
Yeah. Learned that the hard way.
Yeah, okay. Just got to keep reminding people. But then again, this is looking not too bad under this situation at the moment. So GA, if you had got into that long there, beautiful. Just that's again back on the 24th, 25th of Feb.
Yeah.
There's quite a few trades on that. You can see that push up, push back down. You might have been stop profited here, but this would have been a second trade here with this long here. Potentially. Right, GBP CAD. All right, we got a short there, and when it went red, you would be in the trade.
Yeah, I am in it actually. I did get in on that red, so I'm still in this one.
Yeah, and you'd be in profit because if you got in once that candle completed, you'd be in the trade. It's now down here, so there is profit there already. Just depends on where your stop loss is. If it's up there, it could spike up and knock you out. But if it drops a bit further, then you'd move your stop to there. Then it would be a loss-free trade, or it'd be a stop profit. That makes sense. GBP CHF. Oh my gosh. All right, there's one trade there. And there's potentially now the second trade. Correct, Darren?
Yeah.
GJ. Now that's one trade and it's dancing around at the moment. So if we didn't get a longer short, but there's a single trade, you would have been in the trade from here, this point. It dropped down, your stop would have come down to here. It might be down to there now. Just depends on what happens, but you'd be still in a stop profit situation. GN. Right, now it's time to get into GN. Correct?
Yeah, getting for a sell.
Yeah. So you should have really got into that sometime on Friday, to be honest, if you're mechanically trading this. You got the short.
My stop loss initially would be at the top there, but then start moving it down fairly quickly on that one.
Yeah. Okay. So that just tells you what's sort of happening with that and how you would trade. All right, GBP Singapore. You would have gone. You had a short. You would have gone there.
I got in the sell. And I closed it on Friday, but it turned green again. So I think you've got to have that discipline with it as well. So, well, that's what I'm going to do. If the trend bar changes against me, it's just get out. I got out for a tiny. It was a tiny loss, but I just closed it. It'd be very easy to just sit in it and hoping it's going to continue down, and instead watch it head up towards.
You would have got in on that candle there somewhere, wherever, and then it's pulled back and turned green. You go, that's it, I'm out. That's it. Yeah. Small loss.
Yeah.
Right. GU. I'm in that for the buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in it for anyway, I'm in it for the buy at this point.
Yeah.
I'm up
I switched from sell to buy.
So did I. Exactly. I made a loss on the seller and I'm in the buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one I had an issue with, but I changed it based upon this. So
again, it wasn't a full loss. It wasn't a full loss, was it? Because the stop loss would initially been at the top there. So
correct.
Correct. It's accepting the partial loss. Getting straight into the buy. Yeah. And it might do the same. It might turn again.
Yeah, it may. That's right. We don't know. It doesn't really matter. We just
it's tariff stuff. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Well, it's paused for 90 days until he decides not to.
Well, there's been he sneaked something through over the weekend, hasn't he? It's only just sort of the tariffs on China. He's made a decision to waive the tariff on mobile phones.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
iPhones.
Yeah.
By far the biggest
export item
from China. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Who was it? I think they were saying they sent 6 planes out of China or it might have been out of Vietnam or out of Taiwan, somewhere. They sent all the 6 plane loads. I think it was how many? It was 10,000. No, it was 10 ton or something in each plane of iPhones from where? No, India. I think. Well, I can't remember. No, they were thinking of moving to India. I can't remember now.
Yeah, that's right.
Wherever it was, they moved 6 plane loads.
Yeah.
With 10 ton in each plane.
Yeah.
From wherever they were being made, or they've been made, they must have been in boxes to America to try and avoid the tariff. And now he's given the iPhone the exemption. It's like
But it was hidden as when when it was it was just a reference number or something. This was explained when I read it. So you wouldn't have known what they were until you sort of delved into it, and people start and sort of news gradually came out. Oh, that's actually iPhones. It's just some code number, exemptite, and the code number and iPhones.
Yeah, Apple got to him. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? People didn't want their iPhones being 2.5 times the price they are now. It's like that would pee off a lot of people. Anyway, let's keep going. NZD CAD. Right. Even though this long, you wouldn't be in that. You wouldn't be in. You would have been in from the sell there. There's nothing to look at the moment, unless this goes green and then we potentially get into a buy on it. NZD CHF. It's a short. Should be in another sell on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rightio. NZD JPY. Again, this is purely mechanical. Should have been that short. That would have stopped you out probably. And then you would have got back into that for the sell. Bang, 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 bang. It could have stop profited you because of this push back up here. It's just crazy stuff. But still in the sell, if it did, you'd be looking at getting back into it on a sell back out. And that should be buying at the moment.
Yeah, I got in the buy. I got in the sell and switched to the buy.
Yeah, okay. Singapore Japanese yen should still be in the sell from this short here. But we're sort of still playing. This was back on the Wednesday the week before, so this has just been an up and down situation, nothing to take. UCAD, right now, if you didn't get in on that, if you didn't get in on that short, you should have. You'd be in profit now without any drama.
I got in on that where the trend bar changed from green to red, so I've been in.
Oh, there.
Yeah, on that small candle there, so I'm
because there was a short already up here with no long.
Yeah.
Well, you would have got in there and probably made a loss, and then you got back in there again. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't take a second trade?
No, I didn't actually. That's a good point.
Okay. Because you could have, or should have, or could have, or was there a possibility to take
I think probably because my stop loss wasn't in profit or at least break even.
Okay.
So I wouldn't take a second trade until it would be that.
Oh, so he has a nuanced rule there, Paul and Ross, so you know.
Yep.
USDC. He makes them up on the run though. You've got to realise he's
that's
he sneaks them. He sneaks them in every so often. Okay. Now, if you had got in on that short up there, this is where it's at. Look at that. 853 pips in 56 days, less than a month. This is just a unique situation. Too late to get in at the moment, I think, but the trend could still continue, but it's, where are we? It's broken a low from way over here anyway. Okay. So I don't know. We could just sit around, I think, and wait for a bit of a pullback, but it may not. That Swiss franc is pretty strong at the moment. It will do a pullback, inevitably. It has to. I mean, these profit takes here, they have to come back and pull it back on them. Okay, USD JPY should be in the sell on that. It pulled back up, and then it should be in profit at this point if you did. Yeah?
Yeah.
So that on that long you got in, that would have been a very short. It would have come back here and knocked you back out, or you would have seen where it went red and you got out of the trade.
Yeah.
Got into the short. So you get out of the buy into the sell and then continue it down. USD and Singapore. Short turn red.
One. Yeah, going into this one.
Yeah. Red bang. Beautiful. Now, look what gold did. Long green.
I'm in this for the buy.
in for the buy. Yeah, lovely. And silver, not yet. There's you would have been knocked out of that sell buy. Okay, so Bitcoin's back to 84. It's still just sort of hovering around. And where's your oil? 61. Did you get into the short or not? No,
I didn't.
It just, you got that and it pulled back up again,
Yeah.
but now it's
But it was just
dropped.
about the time I was contemplating these new rules, so that I just sort of missed that at oil sell. But
Yeah.
um,
That's okay. So there we go. There's the way to trade these. And then if we look across onto these, is still there, Tom? Yeah, Tom is. You could look at this sort of thing. Now, this is a bit, yeah, you are there, Tom.
Yeah. Can you go to the 2 hour?
Yeah, sure. Got it. This is on AUD CAD.
Yeah. Okay. Can you go over there to the garbage can?
Oh, the garbage can. Yeah.
Yeah, and delete all the lines, all the drawings.
Remove drawings. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
Whew, that was a
Wow.
lot. Yeah, go up to your indicators.
Wow. I never knew to do that. That's great. Yeah, go up to indicators. Gotcha.
No, the ones you
Oh,
got.
okay,
Let's go
gotcha.
through them real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the only ones that you got, turn the X48 off.
Oh, yeah, well.
You
Yeah.
have higher lows.
Yeah. High,
50%
lower,
candle.
low. Sorry? 50% candle,
Yeah, the higher high, lower low live.
Yeah. 50%
50%
candle.
candle.
Mm-hmm.
Equal highs and lows.
Yeah.
Your twin range filter.
Yeah.
Go to the settings. See the fast range?
Yeah.
Make that 1.1.
Yeah.
Save it as default.
Mm-hmm.
CM trim bar, same as you guys. It's set at 25.
Oh. It was 17. Yeah.
And then the next pivot point, just leave it as it is.
Okay.
And all chart patterns. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you can get rid of all those. And then, go back to all chart patterns. Yep, go in there and you want only at the top. Go to the top. Only awaiting.
Yeah, that's what I got.
And all. Okay. And then in progress, and then go over to style and get rid of labels. Okay. And then hit save as default.
Okay, you want to do that. Okay.
Okay. And then you can get rid of those indicators on the left.
Yeah.
All right. So all this is, if you shrink it down a lot, all you're doing is doing what it says. That's all you're doing. So if you could see you're in a downtrend,
Mm-hmm.
rectangles usually are coming out, the side they come out of is the direction it's going.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a giant rectangle. So now shrink it down a little bit. See the big blue triangle?
Yeah.
Think of these like sounding boards. They're going to bounce off the sounding board, whichever side it comes
like
out of.
Bing.
No, on the outside. So when it starts getting out here on the outside, it'll go bounce, and take off. Yeah. It's like an echo board. Okay, and then just open that up a little bit. So now we're in a long. We now have our 50% candle.
Yeah, the 50% candle is this yellow one. Yeah, so it's actually not a candle.
It's a brick.
It's a brick. We can't call it a candle. Right, and it doesn't have and each one of these bricks doesn't have it's
not a time brick.
There's not a set time for it. So you need to, I think one of the hardest things to get across your head is it doesn't have, it has to fulfill a certain price perspective before the the brick will be completed. Yeah, okay.
So the green line does not tell you what the bricks are going to do. All it's telling you is look at your options here. At these points, the computer thinks it's going to do something. So it came down, gave you a yellow brick, gave you a long. You're looking for it to pull back somewhere touching the red line coming down, because you can see that's where it's pointing to. That's kind of where it's going. It could keep going. There's nothing saying it can't keep going. But it's telling you, keep in mind, it's not always going to hit where it wants to the first time. So this may take a long and then a short to come back down to this first arrow down here at the bottom and create a new bottom. It turns around, gives you a yellow candle, gives you a long, you're back in the trade. Now you're looking for it to come back up here where this top is. All this is doing is giving you directional. No, where the green arrow is, Brian.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Oh, the green. Oh, yeah, there. Here you mean the green turn. Yeah.
Yeah. It's telling you this is the area it's working in from the high to the lows here.
Yeah.
So in this area, you're not looking for it to like go shooting off into space somewhere. You're just looking at it for it to do a push and a pullback and things like that.
Yeah.
What you're looking for is when you find your lower low in the break. So you see where you got your first arrow down at the bottom. No, the green arrow. Yeah. And then you have your top.
Yeah, there.
And the green at the bottom is the low.
Yeah.
So this is kind of telling you you're going in this direction. You're still selling in this direction.
Yeah. But this is a pullback it's needing to do, potentially not to break the high,
right?
Not to break the previous high, and then potentially go into the sell direction again.
Right. So it could keep going, or it could turn here. So what ends up happening is I'm saying, okay, I'm getting into this long, knowing there is a chance it could turn here.
Yeah. And
because it keeps going, I'm looking for this trend line to break above my kill zone. Can you grab a rectangle real quick?
Yeah, I'll do that. Gotcha.
Take the last yellow brick on the left. Down. I'm sorry. No. Go to the last yellow brick where it says long on your left. Up.
Oh, up here. Sorry. Yeah.
See the last yellow brick where it started?
Yeah.
Down. The last one. There you go. Take that whole brick down to the area. Down to the other long. There you go. Pull it across. So as this line comes down, you're going to see it. This is pulling back into this box. It's going to hit the trend bar. And if it's going to keep going down, you're going to get a short in here out the other side of the box. If it's going to keep going up, you're going to get a long out of the box. So that's your entire setup. That's all you really care about. You want to follow that trend line. The direction it's going out of the box.
This could take weeks though too.
No, it's not going to take any more time than yours.
No, true. No, yeah. But what I'm saying is, it depends on price. Yeah, exactly right, Tom. Yet the thing is, if it slows down, the bricks won't be created, and it'll be the same in the standard candles. But it just is I suppose all I'm
You
saying
just
is
don't see the candles bouncing.
correct. Correct. That's what I was trying to say in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as these set up, they'll show you, go to another one. Let me show you what I mean. Go to AUDCHF.
Yep, sure.
Exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, nope, now you need that rectangle back. Grab a new rectangle.
Hang on a minute, I can do this maybe.
No, just grab a new rectangle.
Oh yeah, well, okay.
Brian,
No.
sorry to butt in. I've got to depart now, but I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, no worries at all. Yes, Paul.
Okay, thanks again.
I hope that's helpful.
Yes, very good. I've got a few questions. I'll ask you tomorrow.
Yep, no worries at all.
All right, thank you.
No worries, ciao. Yeah, sorry, Tom.
That's okay.
Have I put this in the wrong place?
Yeah, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Drag that down to the last candle. There you go.
Yeah.
And then see the red brick in this line?
That one, is it?
The one above it. The red brick where it says short, the last red brick.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. Now drag this across so you're not getting the other one in. Yeah, just like that. It's the last brick that made the line. So
I got you. Yeah.
All you're doing is you're dragging it across. It's telling you that it's going to work in this area for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
So drag the box across. And then you're looking for the line to come out the side of the box. Now, it's up to you in all these trades in this move here. You decide what you want to take.
Yeah.
If they're little short trades, and because this thing is pretty accurate. When it comes up, let's say, and it moves up here, and you're at the top of the box with the green arrows pointing, and it's starting to turn, and you're like, oh, it's starting to turn. And you all you're doing is looking for a combination of moves, and you're looking for is it going to be a long enough move to make it worth it?
Worth your while. Yeah.
So it's going to keep you out of a lot of bad trades, because what you really want are the ones that push out of the box area.
Yeah. And
to go in a direction.
Yeah. Again, a trend as well.
Yes. So this is the exact same thing every time. Now you could say, oh, I think we're in a downtrend. This short should beat this long, and it's going to keep going down. It's going to keep going down. And this is going to confuse you and say, oh, no, it's going to turn around here. You just have to decide if this is truly what you want to do, then put the trade on for the short.
Yeah.
So you just decide what you want to take based off what you're seeing. At least you have some sort of reference of what's happening, rather than just they're going this way and that way.
Yeah.
It may save you from getting stopped out with a better idea of direction.
Yeah, correct. No, that's good. That's good. And that was an easy way of getting rid of all those lines.
Now you can go down through every pair. They're all the exact same.
Yeah, I know.
I am currently not in anything at the moment.
Oh, I was about to ask what trade you're in. So yeah.
Oh, hey, go to AUDJPY.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
Check that out. You're in a downtrend. See the falling wedge?
Correct. Yeah, falling wedge. Yeah.
So now I'm looking at this as a pullback, which means we're going to make a new lower high here.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I want to catch that. I want to catch that drop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but you'd be looking for what, a yellow candle, would you? Sorry, a 50% candle, a yellow one? Yeah.
No,
sorry, brick.
Just wait till it turns. It'll tell you short. It'll go up here and say short. The line will stay red. You'll get back in, but you have an idea how far it's going to go.
Yeah,
what
okay.
the computer's thinking. Now we may up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and just not make these straight green lines, I'm sure. But it's telling you what direction you're going.
Yeah, the trend. Yeah.
You
Overall
decide
trend.
when you get in.
Mm-hmm.
That way you're not taking every single trade.
Yeah. It keeps you out of bad trades.
Right.
Mm. Mm.
Right now it's trapped
Okay,
between
cool.
those two equal highs. See the yellow
Yeah.
lines? It's
Yeah.
trapped.
Yeah.
It's bouncing
Yeah.
between them.
Yeah. These two.
Right. So it's going to push
Yeah.
up, give you the short,
But it will break
and I'm
out of
going to
one
get
way.
in.
It'll break out of one way or the other. That's right.
It's got to break out.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is not breaking this long right here is going to tell you it's going to push up a little bit because it'll give you a short, and then this thing will go, nope, I'm going up.
Yeah. Okay.
Keeping you out of a bad trade. When it gets to the new high for the lower high for the short,
Yeah.
and you could see it's not going all the way up, get into the short.
Mm-hmm. Let's look at CAD CHF already in a. Oh, so it reckons it's maybe going to do a pullback to. Okay.
And don't forget, your feet's forward because you're not on a Wanda.
Yeah, it's different. That's right.
So if you're not taking trades,
Oh, CAD J reckons it's going to buy. Oh God. Yeah, see, I got an issue. I'm in this, and anyway. And your AUD is the other one. So I'm in the cell. Like yeah. Interesting. Anyway. Well, we're an hour and a half up, Tom. Sorry, I'll need to go.
no worries.
I suppose Darren does too. But thanks for explaining it. We'll look at it closer then maybe tomorrow. But we've got two. They're not competing. I'll need to say this wrong. These are not competing strategies. We're still within the sort of parameters of the trend of the currency pair. They're just a different way of looking at the same potential trades. That's all. So, yeah. All right. Is there anything else that we need to follow up on? Ross, you've been spun around backwards a few times, or?
Yeah, it's just baby steps until I get back into it, really, getting used to it all again. But no, it was educational.
Okay, no worries. Well, Lee, thanks for reaching out anyway, and you're very welcome to be part of the
thanks.
chat
Glad to be
about how
back.
things are going. Yeah, well,
it's Sunday to Thursday you do this, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, right. Brilliant.
And currently it's sort of for roughly the next 6 months, it should be around the same time.
Right, okay. Yep.
It's just that daylight saving when it comes off and on in different parts of the world, because it's yeah. But now we're off daylight savings, and the northern hemisphere is now all on daylight saving. So
right. Yep.
Which makes it a bit later for you, doesn't it, Darren? You're muted, Darren. You're on mute.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, so it's about 9:30 in the evening now.
Oh gosh, okay. So we start normally around 8 o'clock for you.
Starting about 8 now, yeah. 8
and it used to be like 6, and it's like,
yeah, that's right, yeah.
This is probably a better time because you would have hopefully maybe had some dinner or driven to the motel or the hotel or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. Positioned yourself.
Yeah.
All right, no worries.
Yeah.
Well, until tomorrow then. Take it easy. And keep the shiny side up, all right?
Yeah, take care.